Welcome to daily vlog number, this is 14. That is crazy. This is 2 weeks worth of daily vlogging on the 5.7 Hemi conversion here at America's Most Wanted on my Jeep Gladiator Sully. Decided to daily vlog this, not knowing what it was going to be like because I've never done it before, not knowing what the response was going to be because I've never done it before. And let me just say, wow. Thank y'all for showing up every day. There's been so much interest in these videos. It has blown me away. It's been exhausting, and my voice is a little rough right now. I'm starting to get kind of a cold because of the temperatures going on here. But the plan for today, if you watched yesterday's video, the plan for today was to take off and do another road trip in the Gladiator down to the Henry Ford Museum, where we're going to bring everybody along. The weather has turned to garbage today. It's been snowing all day. The streets have been horrible. There's accidents reported on the interstates, and so being that this is all fairly new, didn't want to risk it, so we're staying here. But I thought for today I would do basically a complete rundown of everything that's been happening here, everything that's in this engine, why I chose this engine, basically all the stuff that I've covered over the last 2 weeks in different videos, just kind of sum it all up into one. Because there's been a lot of people asking multiple questions that have been covered in previous videos. So I thought I would just do one summary video, and I am optimistic that tomorrow will be, today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, that tomorrow will be the final video, and then we're signed off and free to head home. So fingers crossed, but if not, that's okay. We're staying until this is like just bulletproof. But I think tomorrow's the day, based on everything that's been going on. We've been driving this all weekend. We've already put 500 miles on it, which is above and beyond their normal break-in procedure on these engines. So I think we're going to be good to go. There's just a couple little piddly things to deal with tomorrow, and then I think we're going to have it inspected by one other set of eyes, and then we're good. But thank y'all for showing up for this vlog series. This has gone so well that we did ask the question on Facebook and Instagram, would y'all like to see a daily vlog series on the building of my wife's new Wrangler Wren? And overwhelmingly said yes, please. The difference between this set of vlogs and those set of vlogs is, instead of being here at this amazing AMW facility watching amazing AMW mechanics and technicians do their magic, you're going to be seeing me and Kara in our garage building up a lot of stuff and doing all the things ourselves, what we can do. So just note that's going to be coming. I still have one other video to edit from our Big Bend trip that we did over New Year's. These vlogs have kind of interrupted those two videos, but that's coming out soon. So just FYI, I've got all my notes here. I'm going to try to do this in as few takes as possible to make this easy to edit. That's been the key to these vlogs, is just making them easy to edit. So first thing I wanted to cover is why I chose the 5.7. I've had some questions. Why not the 392? Why not the 606? Why the 5.7? It is 345 cubic inches. It is 425 horsepower, 410 foot-pounds of torque. And the reason I went with the 5.7 is, one, cost. It's the least expensive option of the Hemi swaps here at AMW. So price was a huge consideration. But realistically, I just wanted a reasonable increase in power. The factory 3.6 comes with 275 horsepower, 260 foot-pounds of torque. Now I've got 425 and 410. I wanted a reasonable increase in horsepower and torque, not crazy. And that's what you get with the 5.7. I wanted to run regular gas. I did not want to have to run premium, and everything above this engine requires premium. And I put on average 30,000 miles a year on this Gladiator, and that price difference between regular and premium, especially when you're traveling out west, would add up very, very quickly for us. So being able to use regular gas was a priority for me, and the 5.7 checks that box. Some other key features about the AMW 5.7, it does not have MDS, which means there is no cylinder deactivation. So there's nothing in here that's going to go, oh, we're cruising down the interstate, we're going to shut down 2 cylinders and now you're a 6-cylinder, or shut down half the cylinders and now you're a 4-cylinder. There's none of that cylinder deactivation stuff in this engine. It is a V8 and it is always a V8. So there's none of that garbage, and that adds additional wear and tear on engines, and this doesn't have. The other thing that I'm super pumped about is this does not have the just god-awful start-stop system. That there is no start-stop system on this Jeep. There's no light on the dash for one. It's just gone. And that is a huge thing. The start-stop systems annoyed the ever-living crap out of me. Mine's been deactivated for the life that I've had this thing with the Taser, but no, I don't have to worry about that anymore. There's no cylinder deactivation. The other things about the AMW 5.7 is they do the intake manifold from the Wrangler 392. That's the intake manifold that is on this thing. Gives it a little more horsepower, I think, than a typical 5.7. But that also allows it to mate up with the sealed air box that allows it to mate up with the Hydra Guide intake manifold here, or air intake system here. And all of this fits together quite seamlessly, and it's very impressive, and I wanted the Hydra Guide. It includes the 392 transmission, so you do get a transmission upgrade when you go with the AMW 5.7. They're not mating it to your old transmission. This has the transmission from the Jeep 392. It's a beefier, stronger transmission to handle the extra power, and I think it's going to be bulletproof. I've been really impressed with how smooth it is on the shifts. It's really nice. It is a learning transmission. I don't know the technical names, but it will learn how you drive and shift accordingly with that, which is pretty cool. The other thing, and this is where AMW's secret sauce is here this is their PCM module. So this is their power control module, powertrain control module. But this has their secret sauce in it. So this is their proprietary programmed PCM, and this allows remote tuning. So if we've got an internet connection, be it at home at home on Wi-Fi or out remotely on Starlink, if I'm ever having an issue with this, I can run a data log, send it to them. They can inspect it, go, oh yeah, we need to tweak this or that, or do this, and they can send me a new file and I can upload it, or they can upload it remotely. I'm not sure how that works. I haven't had to do it, but the PCM with the remote tuning, especially for where we travel, how often we're traveling in remote areas, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal. Let's see. The other thing that sets AMW apart, everything in this is Mopar. Every wiring harness, every component, everything is Mopar. So if you ever need a part, you can just run to a Mopar part store, or like Mopar, what is it, Mopar parts? I don't know what Mopar parts website, and get that part from Mopar. You can get it from a dealership. You can get it online. You can have any Jeep dealership work on this because it's all Mopar. So that's a huge deal for me as well. I don't have to, if I'm down in Arizona and I have a problem with this, I didn't want to have to figure out how to get it back up here to Michigan to get it fixed. I don't have to do that. That's a big deal. And then the other thing, which is kind of a bonus, is this swap or this conversion does away with the electronic power steering pump that all Wranglers and Gladiators come with, and includes the power steering pump that is built into the engine and is belt driven. So you can if you need more power steering to turn larger tires, just give it a little more throttle and you'll get more power to turn the tires. It's really nice. It feels really smooth. And actually someone commented on one of my videos from yesterday, there is a little bit of that power steering whine that you get from it, but it feels amazing. It's not annoying at all. It's just a different sound that I'm not used to. I mean, let's be real. The rumble is a different sound that I'm not used to, and it makes me smile every time I start this thing, or pass somebody on the interstate, or just take off from a stoplight. It's all smiles. So let me talk about my experience here. So that's why I chose the 5.7, and why I chose AMW's 5.7 to do this. My experience here. I have had unique access here at America's Most Wanted to be able to film these daily vlogs. Now, I understand if not every customer is going to get the ability to just walk around freely and do what I've been doing. I've had people ask that question. I don't think that's a thing. It might be a thing. I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. But in my experience, getting the access that I've had and getting to see every single thing that's been going on here and behind the scenes, I'm blown away. Like, absolutely blown away. I've seen other videos from other people, bringing newer Jeeps in here and what that experience has been like. But I'd never seen someone bringing in for almost 5-year-old Jeep with 127,000 miles, needing a new engine, all the abuse that I have put this Jeep through, dirt everywhere. I've never seen anyone document that, because I think that's more real world for a lot of people. Well, I've been blown away. Their attention to detail is unparalleled. Their meticulousness, their cleanliness. Oh my gosh, this shop floor just stays clean. Like, you could eat off the floor. I've had people comment on about that in the videos. This shop is just meticulously kept, and that just shows the pride of the owner, the pride of the employees, the skill of the mechanics. I mean, the attention. It's blown me away. Normal turnaround time for something like this. Mine's pretty much done. Like I said, tomorrow, we got here on a Monday. Two Mondays later, I think we're going to be wrapped up. So we'll say two full weeks plus a day on mine. I don't know if that's a normal time. I think they say 3 to 4 weeks, just to give them ample time to address any issues. And that's been the other thing. The issues that they have addressed with this, that I brought to them. If you watch the video about my fuel pressure sensor pump, that came with that code. That was not something that's related to their conversion. I came here with that, and it was a wiring issue. And they spent a day tracking down that wiring issue and found it. A dealership would have never done that. They'd just said, "Oh, you need a whole new wiring harness, and here's the price," and all that. Yeah, they tracked that down. They didn't have to, but their philosophy here is, if they touch it, it's going to be right. And so that's, dealing with the fuel pump pressure and stuff, that's part of it. So it was an issue when I brought it here, and they fixed it. My wiring, oh my gosh, bless Ian's heart. My wiring was solid. It was all good, solid wiring. It was just excessive because I use all the wiring harnesses from Diode Dynamics. And when I installed everything, I was too lazy to cut them and trim them back. So Ian probably spent, over multiple days, spent a day just redoing my wiring and cleaning all that up, which was above and beyond. But this has their handiwork in it. This has their name on it, and they want it to look good. So props to Ian for that. That's the AMW. That's AMW's philosophy when they do these conversions. So, and you notice I keep saying conversion, not Hemi swap. Jared, the owner, did correct me, I think, after the first video, because they do call them conversions, not swap. It's not just plopping in a new engine and transmission. It is converting this Jeep, or any Jeep, from for me, the 3.6 to fully run off of the new engine. So it is a conversion, not just a swap. There's a whole lot more that goes on than just, boom, pull out the old, put in the new, you're done. Have a good day. Let's see, what else? I actually called Jared, the owner, and told him I am so impressed by everything that I have seen and experienced, and now experiencing how amazing Sully drives with this 5.7, that anything they need from Ozark Overland Adventures from me and Kara, we're there. We are, as far as I'm concerned, we are Team AMW, and we'll sing their praises from the rooftops because we are that blown away by them. The other thing that has blown me away, and the biggest thing that I learned here, I knew their reputation for quality is well known and unmatched, but what I did not know is how many things that are AMW here. Let me show you. Front and rear bumpers are AMW. 1-ton axles, 60 fronts, 80 rears are AMW. Fender liners are AMW. Bead locks are also AMW. Bobbed beds for Gladiators are AMW. Custom coilover mounts designed by AMW. So it's not just engines, it's accessories. And when you get into their turnkey builds, it's pretty much every new thing that goes on that is AMW. From bumpers, wheels, axles, fender liners, I mean, all the stuff that I showed you on one of their turnkey builds, especially their higher end 8-lug turnkey builds, it's all AMW. So that's impressive. And I'm hoping that we can do a lot of that do a lot of those AMW components on Kara's build. So maybe not all at once, but over time. By the time she's here for her own conversion, which we will, I just don't know. I know that we will. I don't know the when, but I'm hoping that there will be axles involved, and the whole thing. I would love for her to be representing almost a fully built AMW Jeep at some point, because I just think that would be incredible. So that's how impressed we are with these people. That's how much we want to partner with them. Let's see, considerations. So if you are considering a Hemi conversion for your Jeep, here's the things you need to know. First of all, they obviously do Gladiators and JL Wranglers. They kind of started with their reputation with the JKs. So JKs, JLs, JTs. I think they do TJs. I've seen a couple TJs around here. I don't know if they're the kind of test things, or if they're just, if you have a TJ, you can come get one. I don't know. But I think maybe TJs. Engines, they will obviously swap the 3.6. They will swap the 2-liter turbo, the diesels. People bring their diesel engines up here and have them swap them to Hemis. The only thing I haven't seen a conversion on is the 4xe, and so far no one's asked them to do that. I think they probably could, but it would probably cost a lot in testing and figuring it out. So I don't know, but they don't do they so far have not done a 4xe. But all the engine choices other than that, JK 2-doors, 4-door Wranglers, yeah, they do it. A newer Jeep and a simpler build is much easier for them to do the conversion on. If you bring in a Jeep with only a couple thousand miles on it, that's going to be a pretty simple process, because everything's as it should. When you bring in a 5-year-old, 127,000 mile Jeep that you have built up for years to be what you want, with all the lighting, all the stuff in the bed and all that sort of stuff that has to all come off and be unhooked for them to get the body off and then everything put back together, it adds time. So the more complex your build is, the more time that's going to take. So if you've got a stock Jeep, or a very mildly built Jeep, or a new Jeep, then the process is much easier. The biggest slowdown in this thing was my wiring, because I've got wires going to the bed for my Red Arc charger. I've got wires from the bed inside the cab for my USB ports and stuff, for my batteries. I've got all the lighting on here, some all the way back to the bed for my chase light. So my wiring was the biggest challenge in this. When it comes to build options, the sky's the limit. With all the things that AMW does, you could come here and get tons, 40s, coilovers with their custom coilover brackets that they made. It's their own design for the coilovers, bobbed beds, everything that I showed earlier. The sky's the limit on how crazy you want to build that out. I haven't seen them do anything like racks and tents and stuff, so I don't think they do that. They do offer financing options. I've heard them on the phone with other customers talking about financing options. I don't know what those are. You'll have to call them to find that out. But there are financing options out there for this. If I will say, because people ask, that price you could have got a new one. No, I could have come close to buying a new Jeep, but not a new Jeep built out like this and with this engine. For my situation, Sully's paid off. It made a whole lot more financial sense to do this than to buy a new Jeep and build it out. That I did not want to do that. So it made more financial sense for me to do this than to buy a new Jeep, because this is built the way I want it to be. If you are considering getting a new Jeep, I highly recommend looking at AMW's turnkey options. They've got some listed on their website. They've got two types of turnkeys. They've got their Adventure Series, which is pretty much what I did here, the engine, transmission, the normal conversion. It does include 37-inch tires. I think some of them do include the bumpers and stuff. But it is just a really, really solid Jeep build that you can order from a Jeep dealership. So you can walk into a Jeep dealership, order an AMW Adventure Series, and do normal financing and all that sort of stuff. So that's cool. If you're looking at buying a new Jeep that you're going to build up, I honestly just look at the Adventure Series. It's a heck of a value. Their 392 Wrangler with 37s and all their stuff is cheaper than going to a dealer and buying the Jeep 392 Wrangler. At least the prices I saw on their website. Options may vary, but you're not going to get. They don't come. The Jeep 390, the Wrangler 392s don't come with 37s and bumpers and stuff. AMW's does. So that's a heck of a deal. Now, if you want the ultimate in Jeep build, then look at their 8-lug series. That's the tons, 40s, even coilovers, custom everything. I mean, that's their 8-lug series are just bonkers in their build quality, and it's for the most part all AMW stuff. So that's pretty cool. Pricing. I've had a lot of people ask about pricing, and all the pricing is on their website, at least for the basic conversions. Mine, the 5.7 transmission, radiator, full install, PCM, all that stuff on their website, $32,000 or $31,995. So $32,000 for that, and that includes all the installation and all the fixing my problems that I brought here. Is all that. They don't build by the hour. They have an estimate for how long it's going to take, but I don't think they build by the hour. I could be wrong with that. So if they tell you differently, that's on me, not them, because I'm not sure. My whole package here, estimated, because I don't have a final tally yet, but I wanted the hood, I wanted the hydro guide, I wanted the re-gear from 513. I had 513s. I wanted 488s. All in, we're looking at close to 40,000 for this. So, still, that's not bad. I'm very happy with this and this setup, and I can't wait to get it more on the trails. We had a blast yesterday in this thing. I'm anxious to get home and hear this thing going through the Ozarks. That's going to be fun. We've got that coming up in just a couple weeks. Now, I am fully transparent on, I'm a YouTuber. So when we're talking about the pricing here, that is, that's the normal pricing. Obviously, there's value to AMW for me being here, showing you all this stuff. So there's value to AMW for that. And, obviously, there's a discount involved in me in allowing me to do this. This also would not have been possible without Blood Lubricants. They called me at just the right time for me to pull the trigger on this and said, yeah, we love your channel. You're responsible for me getting into this overlanding thing and buying a Gladiator, and I want to sponsor the channel. Tell me about your engine swap. I told him what my options were, and he said, I'd love to help you get that 5.7. So Blood Lubricants is a new sponsor of the channel, and without them and AMW, I would be putting another 3.6 in here. So very much grateful to them, both their companies. So if you need fluids for your vehicles, and you are the type of person that's not just going to O'Reilly's or AutoZone and buying what's on sale, you care about the quality of the fluids going in your vehicles, look up Blood Lubricants. Got a discount code that'll save you 25% off. It is top tier quality stuff. They specialized in the racing industry. They're now moving into the consumer market, specifically for off-road vehicles. That is their new target audience with this consumer line. And that is the only fluids that will be in my vehicles, be it this Kara's 3.6 until she gets the Hemi conversion, the diesel in our Ross Monster, diff fluid, trans fluid, power steering fluid, obviously engine oil, all of that from Blood Lubricant. So look them up if the quality of the oil matters to you, and they rock. So I think I covered everything. Every single thing that I've talked about in my videos, just that went into this, I think I covered it. If I missed something, the re-gearing. Let me address that real quick, because a lot of people have asked about the gearing. Most of their adventure series, so they typically start out as like a Mojave or Rubicon, some Sports and Sierras for Wranglers, but most of their adventure series are running the stock gears. I drove a 392 Gladiator with 373 gears, and that thing ripped. Cruised in 8th gear, no problem. On the interstate, it absolutely ripped with those 373 gears. So re-gearing is not necessary, unless, I think for the most part, unless you are over geared like I was coming into this, and then my gears were also trash. So unless you are over geared, I don't think re-gearing is going to be necessary. It was for me, because 513s with this engine is too much. So we backed it down to 488s, and man, it is beautiful. It runs great. There you go. There's the summary. I hope this helps you. If you have questions, ask them. We'll be here in the morning, seeing what Ian can figure out with the two issues that we have. Are my rear drive shaft is making contact with the skid plate, easy fix. And then for some reason, I am unable to manually shift my transmission when in 4 low. I can in 4 high and 2-wheel drive, but for some reason in 4 low, it won't let me manually shift my transmission. I think that's a computer thing. Ian thinks that's a computer thing. So he's gonna get here in the morning and figure that out. Have another set of eyes, just inspect everything, make sure Ian didn't miss anything. I don't think he did, because he was friggin' awesome. And then we'll be signed off, and we'll have their blessing to go home. It's kind of like taking a baby home. Very much like taking a baby home. But there you go. I'm in love. I loved Sully before, but I am really, really, really in love with Sully 2.0, and I'm going to have a lot more adventures in this Jeep. And it's all thanks to AMW, and I'm pumped. So see you in the next video. More daily vlogs coming with Kara's build, but thanks for sticking through this one. It's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging, a lot of late nights, but I've enjoyed it, and I thank y'all for showing up each day and all the engagement that you've given us. So we'll see you tomorrow for what I think will be the final video. See you then.